Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome to another live session with the Hype Magazine. I'm your editor-in-chief, Jerry Dobie, and today, I've got a very special young lioness with me by the name of CHERON Griffin. She is a motivational speaker, a thought provoker, an advocate for women and people, and most recently, she has dove into the realm of suicide prevention awareness, and she's got an amazing event coming up October the 1st in Houston, Texas, to support that cause. Also, she got some crazy. She preachers Exes. We talked about it a couple of years ago. She's got a reality series called Preachers Exes that has a very diverse cast. It's exciting. If you haven't seen the trailer on her Instagram yet, you should check it out. It is very interesting. They are preachers' exes. They were preachers' partners. They weren't preachers.
No.
That's how she described it to me a couple of years ago. She said there was some goings on. There was some goings on. Okay. And we're going to get into it a little bit. Welcome, CHERON. Glad to have you.
Oh, thank you, Jerry. Thank you for having me on your platform. I'm excited to be here as usual. Thank you.
Oh, you do wonders for my ego, young lioness, I swear.
Well, you know, that's why I've been married 5 times.
I'm not touching that on video. See? And as much as I love the food in Houston, don't.
I ain't even going there, bro.
Hey. The song says, "Get off my top." Okay, quit playing with me. Look,
you playing.
Amazing human being. Like,
thank you.
You're a certified personal development life coach. You've got an exciting new business that you started that had to be scary. You stepped out as an entrepreneur, as a dental hygienist.
Yes, actually, I've practiced dental hygiene for about 31 years, been licensed 8 different states. However, I didn't want to be in the dental setting anymore. So I started a luxury teeth whitening bar, because when people come to the dental office, that's the #1 thing that they want: whiter teeth.
Okay.
Yeah. And your teeth are white.
No, they're not.
Right here, let me put on my gloves.
I've been using Sensodyne, and I'm trying to correct the issue.
Okay, good for you.
I'm a heavy coffee drinker. And
all the work you do, I understand that.
Yeah. I was up till like 4 o'clock this morning on this.
That's when I got up.
It's crazy. Really? Man, I was just laying down. Okay, I'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
You know, timing is everything. Anyway, I would say that you're in a huge market in Houston, and you know there are a lot of progressive women.
Yes, I love it.
In the area, in that market. How has your new business been received, and was there any pushback from any of the city fathers?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No pushback at all. Business is great. So it's a 3-in-1 business, right? So we have teeth whitening. You can convert that space to an event space. And then we have a selfie room in the rear. You know, everyone wants to be selfie ready. You know what I'm saying? Get content for the week. Yeah.
I ain't mad at you. I'm like serial entrepreneur all in one spot. It's a one-stop shop.
That's right.
Everything that attaches to your ear taken care of in the same spot. Get your teeth white so you can smile all bright.
Yeah.
Selfie on, get your content creation. You got a studio. Look at you. Go on. I'm proud for you.
Well, they always said your space should be functioning at all times. You know, that way you have multiple streams of income coming in.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, you got 3 of the 10 right there in one spot.
Oh, baby, I done exceeded.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So you've got a long history of advocacy for humanity, you
I
know,
do.
as a life strategy and stress management, fitness and lifestyle management coach. Um, man, you got a lot of experience, but now you step, we talked about earlier, you mentioned the suicide prevention awareness realm. I mean, the
Yes.
numbers are up, obviously, for various reasons. There are various levels of persecution and bullying going on in our country, and
Yeah.
people are succumbing to the depression and things like that. So, talk to me about your advocacy in this area.
Okay. Okay. Well, the campaign is called ICU Campaign. And the reason that I created it in South Carolina, which is where I lived previously, I was doing substitute teaching, right? And I asked the young people in a particular class, what is the initiative that you want to talk about on today? And they said suicide. And I tell you, we were crying probably about 40 minutes. Just the different stories that I heard, some of them had tried to commit suicide. Some of their parents had tried to commit suicide. They were sharing different family dynamics. And one thing that stuck out in particular was one of the little boys, his father was a brain surgeon. And the father left the mother for the secretary. And he had to take on the responsibility of being the man of the house now. And that was just like such a burden on him where he just didn't want to be here anymore.
Mm,
So just hearing those type of stories, it just really touched me. It
mm.
did.
And so you dove in. I mean, we're in an era, the babies raising babies era started in the 70s, late 70s.
Right.
And with each progressive generation, uh, survival skills
Yes.
have, been lost. And, uh, as we lost our elders and people who really came through some serious trauma and
Right.
had to, Medea and her mama had to keep a whole family together because the system that we were in made men not necessarily impotent at home, but impotent in society. So the women were bearing
Right.
the brunt.
Right.
They were, buttressing whatever the man could do, and at the same time reaching down to the children and giving them life skills to survive. And, as the system has taken away responsibilities and privileges of parenthood.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Go
I could
ahead.
say so much about, you know, some of the children that I talk to, and they're 20, they're not children, they're in their 20s. They feel like we were abused.
Mhm.
And maybe some of us were, but we understood right and wrong. We were chastised, and I can't tell you whether I agree with it or not. That's not why we're here. Um, but it worked for me because I was one of those young people where my mother told my choir director, I can't do anything else with her. And my choir director stepped in and she became my mentor,
Mhm.
where I was allowed to share anything and everything. And I did.
Okay.
And I believe that though I was disciplined, I didn't have a voice. I wasn't allowed to share my thoughts, my feelings. It was pretty much do as I say and not as I do. And what goes on in this house stays in this house. And I think that alone caused so much trauma, especially in the Black community.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, folks didn't want the other side getting involved in the household.
Right, right. And I understand that, but I look at it from a child's perspective now, right?
Okay.
So I was molested by my uncle. And my grandmother actually called him. I mean, she beat him. She told me to go outside. She whipped him. But she didn't tell my parents, my mom, because it was just my mom. And nothing else was done. And we were still left alone with him. So just what goes on in the house stays in the house. So of course I didn't share that with teachers or people at church or anything like that. So I harbored that for so many years. So if I wasn't as tough and strong as I am, I think that I probably would have thought about suicide. I don't know whether I would have committed suicide, but I definitely would have thought about it.
Well, I didn't, I, like you, didn't enjoy the corporal punishment coming up. However, I would suggest and put forward the idea that folks were a little bit different because of it. People understood there were consequences, and consequences included perhaps pain.
Right.
But, you know, they weren't putting us in prison in droves.
That's true.
They had to do something. They took away the parental rights, and then they made a corporate business out of prisons, and the government had to enter into a contract that guaranteed the private prisons XYZ amount of occupancy, we'll call it that. And, you know, so they were, it's systemic.
Right, and it's a business.
Yeah. And then,
you know,
we got these house folks that are still suffering from the chains and images of psychological slavery, and they just walk right into, you know, the trap.
I totally have to agree with you. Like sometimes I wonder, like, why I don't have like a whole lot of friends, right? But I'm not enslaved in my mind. And most people can't handle my authenticity. You know what I'm saying? Especially someone that's enslaved in their mind, because to me, they're brainwashed to think a certain way. And I'm outside of that box, where I have my own thought processes, where I research stuff, where I study stuff, where I decide to say, hey, that's not for me anymore. And I'm okay with that, whether you like me or not, you know, but unfortunately, most of society is not like that.
Okay. Well, you know, you're also known as a master communicator. What type of program and what kind of insights do you give to the young people that you're working with, and how involved are you?
I'm gonna say this. I teach self-love. Love thyself first. Because the more love I have for me, the more love I have to give you. But most of us don't know about self-love. So we give what we don't have, and we end up being depleted and having nothing. And that's when we're hurting. Oh, I did this for you, or I did that, or, you know, okay, and move on, you know. But when you love yourself, you're like, hold up, no, bro, no sis, you know, no mom, you know what I'm saying? And we have this self-care thing that's going on, which is phenomenal, right? I do believe in self-care, but how can you have self-care if you don't have self-love? Get my nails done and my hair, and, you know, put my makeup on. I'm brunching every Sunday, but I don't love myself. I'm coming home and still dealing with that same shit that I've been dealing with.
Right.
For like 20 years. And to me, self-love means I have to dig deep, and I have to pull out all that shit that has been embedded in me, all that hurt, that pain, things that I was taught. And I have to look that in the eye and deal with it. So how you deal with it depends on who you are. Some people might need talk therapy. You know, some people might need spirituality. Some people might need medicine. Some people might need psychedelic therapy. Whatever it is, you know, you have to say or determine what's for you and then deal with yourself with that.
Okay. So you have a whole list of certifications here. Give me a few red flags that you notice as we're discussing suicide.
Okay.
And some of the tools and resources that you help people avail themselves of.
To me, one of the red flags, and people might not believe that this exists, when people tell you. You know, there was a young lady, an influencer, who recently just, Raven, she just committed suicide. And they don't like to call it committing suicide. It's considered death by suicide. And she hung herself. But the warning signs were there. She was telling people she didn't want to be here. Now, whether they could have helped her or not, we don't know, right? But we need to take those words very seriously, because someone on the outside looking in could say, oh, you just want attention, or why didn't you do it by now? If you really wanted to commit suicide, you would have been did it, you know? So we have to be careful how we communicate, but we also have to listen. Someone that's sleeping a lot, you know, normally that's a sign of depression. You know, they can't get up. My mother suffers from being bipolar. And I remember her being in a bed for about 6 months where she just couldn't get up. And she said it felt like being in a dark hole. And you want to get out, but you can't. And she said that she probably would have committed suicide if she wasn't afraid of going to hell.
I gotta confess,
Okay.
that when I came back from Afghanistan this last trip, that was an option for me.
Okay.
You know, checking out was definitely an option for me.
Okay. Okay.
And because there was some.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Yes.
Why didn't you?
I have an amazing young person
Okay.
in my life.
Okay.
When I left here this last time, she was, 4 years old. When I came back, she was 5.
Okay.
And, I came back, and one of the motivating factors for me to check out was the fact that I came back so twisted that initially I even saw my baby, as
wow.
as a potential threat and a target.
Really? How so?
Because they were using women and children where I was at.
Okay.
As an offensive weapon.
Okay.
So you never knew what you were going to, we rolled over a trash pile and it blew up. A dead dog and it blew up. So when I came back, I had my C4, 5, and 6 vertebra replaced.
Okay.
They were doing some atrocious things, and they were sending children after you. So you were, when I came back, I trusted nobody and nothing. And then at the same time, of course, the young Black people were being killed by police. And for things in manners that they would send us to foreign countries to go hunt down people for doing,
Right.
their people, specifically, really in the brown countries, right?
Right.
They would send us there to fight the atrocities, only to come home and watch, unarmed 13-year-old get shot in the back, or, a little girl, from people wearing badges and uniforms.
Right.
So yeah, I was compounding all of that and trying to adjust, because one day I was doing my work somewhere, and the next day I was back here, and people were saying, well, your time at work is over. You're broken. Take your ball and go home. And but I've been a professional, for years. First entered the service at 18, 31 days after my 18th birthday. So
oh wow.
I was a young wolf. They made me a better wolf and paid me to go be a wolf in places that maybe we shouldn't have been. But that's, that little girl though, brought me out. I'm like, I'm being selfish, and I'm, excluding her from my life, and excluding her from everything that we could have as father and daughter. You know what I mean?
Right.
Those precious moments, the things that make parents immortal in their children's eyes. She was going to miss out on those things.
Okay.
So that helped. And then, of course, coming to the Hype magazine, gave me something to focus on.
Yes. And, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine.
So one of my daughters, she's also bipolar, right? And she has a boyfriend who has 4 kids, and he's a single dad. So like you, she needed something to really focus on. And since she's been with him and pretty much been their mother, she really hasn't suffered much from depression at all. And I love that. I especially love that because on her dad's side of the family, her aunt and cousin committed suicide or died by suicide.
It's rough,
Yeah.
Adjustments are rough.
It is.
But anyway, we're not going to stay in that lane, though.
No, not at all.
I can't do it with you because
no, we don't.
Life is beautiful, and we're doing amazing.
Beautiful. Yes, and I love living. And my thing is, if I could save one life, I've done my job. That's it.
Yeah, reaching out, being available to care about other people, is one of the biggest joys actually that I found. Just being available. When I came back, my switch was cut off, so I wasn't available. But now, the switch is back on, and
for me, just my childhood and my journey has taught me compassion. And people say, would you change anything? I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I would go through the pain, the suffering, the therapy, the counseling, all of that, because that created me to be who I am. And that created me to be a compassionate soul where I really, really care about people, not just care about your finances or whatever, but your heart. I care about what makes you think, and why do you think the way you do, and how do you feel? How are you? How many people really say, how are you, and mean it? I had a young lady come into the whitening bar, and she was just walking by, and she came in, she asked some questions about whitening, and she stayed 7 hours, and she cried a lot. She needed someone that day, and I was available. Yeah.
Big tip, y'all. Get out of yourself, be available for somebody else, because they could bring you a blessing. Trust me.
That's right.
It works.
It does. It does.
And I'm still here 10 years later. You know what I mean? That's a testament to it working. Look,
that's a blessing, right?
It's been a blessing so far.
Yeah, because you're super amazing and you're doing amazing things on the earth. So you're living on purpose.
I'm living with purpose, I'll tell you that.
That's right. But you know what else? Jerry, I think if more people begin to live on purpose, well, first of all, know their purpose and begin to live on purpose, I think that they wouldn't be so depressed or without. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you just have that thing that fulfills your soul, you know, it changes your life.
I would definitely say to concentrate on the intrinsic, meaning do things for yourself.
Absolutely.
For self-fulfillment rather than the extrinsic. You know, I'm doing it for money, I'm doing it for position or clout. I guess, so they still using that term. I have no idea.
No.
I'm out of touch. Okay.
Okay, too. Me too.
So, you know, do it for self-fulfillment. I mean, one of the things that I've been able to accomplish, I just recently, and this is not about me, but I'm going to share it anyway.
Okay.
I just finished a 120-hour course to allow me to teach English as a foreign language and English as a second language. I've always wanted to be a teacher because I hate people with bad grammar.
Okay.
I get sick and tired of getting emails with things are misspelled and native speakers talking like they're not.
Right.
I want to help out. So that was my thing. I wanted to do it. It was fun.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
That's amazing. That really is.
You're amazing. Talk to me about this adult sipping paint Saturday, October the 1st.
Yeah, so I have 2 models that are going to be there, not completely nude, but you know, just yeah.
It's adult.
Yeah, adult sipping paint, no kids, you know, a good vibe, great music, lots of pictures because I'm actually decorating the selfie room to go with the theme of Halloween.
Okay.
So just lots of pictures and just a good time with each other. And of course, networking. I believe that your network is your network.
That's right.
You know, so get to know each other, see what you're doing and how you can help one another. So everything I do has a purpose, and the funds also go towards the suicide prevention campaign. Again, it's called ICU, and I trademarked it.
All right, there you go, honey business.
Yes. Let me tell you why. Because the Red Nose campaign blew up. And I see the ICU campaign blowing up like that. And I didn't want someone to come and take it from me, like Me Too movement. You know what I'm saying? I'm a forward thinker.
Right.
So I made sure to cover that. So I have to show you these, and normally I wear these on my interviews. So these are my glasses, and they represent ICU. And I did yellow because yellow means joy. So I want you to experience joy when you see these glasses, but also know that I don't just see you with my eyes, but I see you with my heart. So, and I have to show you the book.
Yes.
And see the glasses.
I love it. Okay. When did you publish the book?
Wow. Probably about 2 or 3 years ago. You know what, Jerry? I have
You've been neglecting me.
Really?
I didn't know about the book.
No, okay, let me show you something, seriously. It's written with sight words and emojis.
Okay.
And the reason I did it like that, one, young people, 6 years old, 5 years old, they can read it. They know the emojis, they know sight words, they should.
Okay.
You know, and we all communicate with emojis these days. So why not 2 in 1?
Okay, I love it.
Thank you.
I told you, amazing. She's brilliant.
You know what? I have finally come to the conclusion that I am. Before, I used to have this false humiliation. Wait a minute. What is that word? False, when you're humble. Say it again. Humility? Yes, this false humility. You saying, oh, I'm not smart, or, you know, that kind of stuff.
That's self-denigrating bullshit.
Yes. And I think religion taught me that.
No, somebody put that on you. Somebody put that on you.
Yeah. And now I've realized I'm smart. I'm really, really smart. And I have really, really smart children. You know, so I had to learn that. And I had to accept that. And now I tell people, yes, I'm really smart. So thank you for the compliment.
Hey, you know what? One of the things I believe for people who accomplish a lot, oftentimes it's because they've been put down and beaten down and they're trying to prove something to themselves. It's okay to acknowledge that you're fucking great.
No, that's right. But I don't know.
You have to learn it.
I remember I was told you're always going to be on welfare. I remember that. And that made me more determined than ever. So I love and I welcome when people say, oh, no, you can't do that. I'll be like, bitch, let me show you. I won't say it.
Right.
In my mind, I'll be like, okay, I got you.
Yeah. Hey, you know, I had that mindset nowadays, F with me and find out.
Well, my favorite hashtag is IDGAF.
I feel you. Yeah, my heel fuck meter has been broken for years. Is it like -900? That's what it registers. I don't care. Lord, I'm gonna have to, when I edit, I'm not even gonna edit this out, but I'm gonna have to tag it because we can't monetize it with the F words and things like that. Okay. No, too late now. We
said hashtag IDGAF.
Yeah, I broke the, I stepped outside of myself.
It's all right, it's okay.
It's okay, yeah. I just wanted to have a good time with the conversation, and the fact that we're having a conversation and not an interview means more to me.
And a great conversation.
I agree.
I love it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we got the Sip and Paint. We've covered the suit. Now you finally got a showrunner. A couple years back, when I first met CHERON, we were talking about Preacher's Exes. That was a lively conversation. It was all audio. You have to check us out on Audio Mac and check out the CHERON K Griffin interview. Now we remember.
Jerry, wait a minute. Do you remember the year that we first talked?
I don't remember the year. I don't remember the year. Probably 2013, 2014. 13.
Yeah.
I was just transitioning out of the military, actually.
Wow.
I think because my retirement date was April the 7th of 2013.
Okay, and I was just transitioning out of my 4th marriage.
Yeah, I remember.
The preacher.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
I was bitter back then.
Really?
I was so broken. Yeah, I was angry. And to be honest, I'm glad that the show was not picked up because I really think that I would have messed my life up because I was so broken at that time. I was determined, but I was broken.
But now you have a showrunner. You've evolved. You're able to dial it in. You've had table readings and the whole 9 yards. You've elevated to somebody saying, yo, I want this to happen. Yeah. Talk to me about the evolution of that and where you are now, what we can look forward to. Okay, well, again, it's still in the showrunner's hands. In November, we had our party, a viewing party. We had a viewing party and she happened to be there. And she stood up and she said, I love what I see and I can sell your show. And I was like, wow, thank you. You know, thank you to the creator for allowing me to endure the journey. You know what I'm saying? Because so many people would have given up, but I have to prove people wrong. I'm determined, you know, and I just want to see it on TV or on streaming. I do. And I had a deal
in 13, 14. And I didn't accept it because I didn't understand how big streaming was, or was going to be.
Right.
Also, I'm glad that I didn't accept it because I was attached to a gentleman that just didn't do me right. And I felt like he was waiting for the show to take off so he could monetize off of it. So I appreciate not, it not being picked up and me waiting. I'm good with that.
Time is
Time is
everything.
everything.
When the red flags raised, pay attention.
Isn't that the truth?
Man, you know what? I have been places and not gone around a corner, standing straight up because my gut said, don't do that.
Right.
I'm still here. I listen. And in business, when the red flags are there and you know that people are, gaslighting you and, go ahead. I'm just enough to help you make it, but I make sure that I've insinuated myself enough into your situation that I'm going to get paid.
But you know what? And I'm glad again that it didn't take place because after a period of 7 years, any contracts are null and void, baby. Love it.
There you go. Well, I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
I know we don't have a timeline, but I know that the original cast has changed out. The cast has changed out.
Yes.
And it's more inclusive now. Talk to me about that.
Oh my God. So we have a gay male. And I love Albert. He's fire. And he's from Philly like me.
Okay.
So I think we're going to clash a lot because he's very vocal, as I am. So I can see the claws coming out, but he's a cool dude. But everyone else is here in Houston. And that's what I love. So people won't have to fly in and things like that. We're here. So it's going to be super amazing. And I have to say this, that the church is full of gay people. And that's fine. He was married to a man. That's fine. Now, will some people disagree with it? Absolutely. But the real world is changing. And so is church. Even though gay people have always been in church, right? But
they were lying about it
and hiding. Exactly.
Yeah.
And Albert's not hiding. And that's what I could appreciate. I always say this, if you're up there preaching, right, and you say to me or in front of the congregation, hey, I'm a homosexual, or, I'm a whoremonger, you gave me a choice. I'm probably going to stay. I'm going to be like, damn, I like you. You straightforward. You know what I'm saying? That's me, because I want that authentic.
Right.
But most people can't handle that. So we're going to see how this plays out. I believe that the LGBTQIA community is going to be dope, a dope support system, especially riding for Albert and how flamboyant and he is. I'm going to attract the people that want to be free.
I have a word for the LGBTQIA community. Could you MF or stop adding letters? Too long.
Let me tell you, I had to memorize it. Okay.
Man, I got used to LGBT. And then somebody chastised me because I didn't say Q. And I don't even know what the Q means.
Queer.
Okay, I thought that was covered under the LGBT.
No. The young people, the millennials and Gen Zs, they know exactly which each of the letters stand for and the definitions of each. I don't. I just love everybody until you show me something different, then I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, I'm cool with whatever. I was born the way I was born, I like what I like.
Right.
And I don't give a shit what anybody else like.
And that's how I feel. But
Treat me
most
right.
people, right. I agree. But most people aren't like that. Most
Treat me right.
people are really, really judgmental
Right.
of other people. But if you look in your own mirror, you need to deal with yourself first.
Man, tell the
Love
truth.
that person.
Preach.
Deal with that person.
Tell that. The Old Testament is gone, y'all. That old law. Because
Right.
I now have heard on the news people preaching and go back to the Old Testament in dealing, you know, when they're talking about Romans chapter 27 and you know, women forsaking their natural use and men taking unto themselves that which is recompense and all that, and that they should be put to death and stoned. I'm like, you motherfuckers is tripping.
Wow, you know what? Like society in some aspects reminds me of The Handmaid's Tale. Now, very religious and dogmatic. You know what I'm saying? And men ruling everything. Now.
I'm waiting for them to start passing out the Kool-Aid. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Jim Jones, right?
Man, I'm ready to start walking past bodies.
Let me tell you,
It's gonna happen.
I don't go to church no more. I don't like, I think it's been about 9-10 years. I just can't. A lot of my friends are still pastors, but I'm not into it. And I've lost a lot of friends because of it. And it's okay, because we change. To me, it was growth.
Right.
You know?
I agree.
Some people can't handle your truth, my truth.
Yeah. You know, I have learned not to judge.
Absolutely.
I've been like pretty much all over the world.
Yes.
And, you know, there's diversity. Every place that I've been.
Right.
It's not, you know, just in one place. So, and then, you know, I've been in situations where, you know, your life is on the line, depending on the person on the right of you and the person on the left of you. And they weren't the same as me, but they were shooting in the same damn direction on that day. And that's all I needed.
You got home.
Yeah.
You got home safe.
We got home. So that's all I cared about. Like, you shoot in that direction on this day when you need to shoot it, we'll shoot in the same direction. And then we go our separate ways after that, you know, being we can have a drink or whatever. You go home and do your thing, whatever. I ain't got nothing to do with that.
Right.
We're gonna shoot the same direction. I can depend on you with my life, and you can depend on me for your life, and we're gonna get home together. So it's a worldwide thing. Leave people alone.
Yeah.
You know,
that's how I feel.
Yeah.
But let me tell you this. Let me tell you why the world is ready for preachers' exes now.
Yes.
Because Hope for Jesus, Save Your Soul. That was a winner. That had everyone buzzing. A lot of people agreed, a lot of people didn't. However, in recent years, statistically speaking, 32 million people left the church, and not because of COVID, because of the bullshit that they saw. So the world is ready. You know, I don't think the world was really ready back then. So you had me not being ready, the world not being ready, but it's the season. So I'm super excited.
I'm excited too. I'm the grandson.
I'm getting weight down now.
You were married to a preacher. I'm the grandson of
I was married to two.
You went back. You doubled.
Look, I was married to two. Wait a minute, and I was actually, I don't know if I was reading my resume, but I remember texting my daughter yesterday, and I said I never put out there that I'm a survivor of domestic violence. I never put that out there. And I was like, but I am. You know what I'm saying? So I said, I'm going to wear that crown too, because there's other women out there who are going through some of the same things that I went through. So I'm gonna wear that crown, I'm gonna fix it pretty, and I'm gonna help some other women just by talks.
CHERON Griffin. She is an amazing person. She's got so much going on. I'm really excited for the Preacher's Exes. I'm excited to see how this plays out on the screen. And it's been a work of love and for years for her. And I'm really excited for my friend to see her dream come to fruition. She put work clothes on this dream and has made it come to fruition. And we're at the final steps before we can get it. And I'm excited for you. Is there anything you wanted to cover that I may have neglected thus far?
No, I think we talked about everything, but I have to say this. I love the gray.
Hey, thank you very much.
Nice.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'm gonna be bald again soon because I like to be able to wash my face and my scalp at the same time and keep it pushing. So I'm a fast mover. I'm slow and take my time in something, but when it's time to get up and roll, you know, I'm used to doing this and we out.
And you know what, Jerry, same thing. Like, I can't imagine sitting in a salon and getting lace fronts. Like, first of all, those things are hot. You know what I'm saying? No, seriously, I remember I had a wig. I was shouting in church and it was matted in the back. And so I knew this shit wasn't for me.
I'll tell you. Look, my friend, give them your social media and where they can keep up with you.
Yes, everything.
Matted in the back. She had a rat's nest on the back of her neck.
This big knot, and this was a long wig too. It was a big knot.
And nobody said nothing. They didn't even tell you. They was talking shit behind you.
I felt it.
Okay.
You know, so, and I have to say, my kids are no longer part of religion anymore. They've walked away. Matter of fact, they showed me a different way. So parents should not be so high they can't learn from their children. Regarding my social media, everything is at CHERON K Griffin, CHERON K GRIFFIN.
Okay, I've enjoyed you.
Likewise, I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for being my friend.
Thank you for being mine.
You said it first.
Well, I appreciate you for who you are. I appreciate you for being who you are. And, you know, I'm just thankful.
Most of my friends are men. Like my husband shares me with a lot of men. Yeah. Like, yeah.
Respect to you, brother. 100% respect to you. You have a very special person in CHERON. And those of us on the outside looking in understand what she brings to the table and to the fabric of our community. You know what I mean? So more than a woman.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Hype Magazine live session. CHERON K Griffin. Preacher's Exes coming soon. I see you as the movement, the support for the suicide prevention and helping people know that they're not alone. Very important movement. And she's leading that. So I look forward to the next time that we speak. I look forward to supporting you. And until the next time, peace.
Peace.